Hi, this is how to play Somewhere Only We Know, the Lily Allen version, part 5. In the previous 4 parts we learnt how to play the introduction to the song, and now we're going to learn how to play verses 1 and 2 leading into the pre-chorus. Now verses 1 and 2 are almost identical to the introduction with a couple of very slight alterations. In fact, the beginning of it is simpler than the introduction, and there's a slight alteration at the end which needs to be learnt. So if you'd like to zoom into my fingers, Karen, I will show you these alterations. Now, firstly, we're going to play this template that we learnt in the parts 1 to 3. Now, the important thing to understand is these 3 chords are going to be exactly as we learnt in parts 1 to 3. In part 4, I taught you some alterations that are used in the introduction. These alterations are not used in the verse, so we're going back to how we learnt this in parts 1 to 3 for verses 1 and 2. In parts 1 to 3, we learnt this template, which is middle finger. We'll go back to the B flat chord, the first chord. So it's middle finger, thumb, top 2 fingers, thumb. Okay, with the little finger and the thumb on the left hand at the same time. And then 3 more times. So that's what we learned for each chord. For the verse, it's going to be exactly like this template without the extra alterations. So if you remember for the beginning of the song, this happens twice. That happens there as well. None of that now. We're just going to do exactly as it's seen here on this template. So let's just run through that for these 3 chords. So it's very simple now. Basic template, exactly as you see here. So. Okay, so we're just following that template exactly, plus 3 more times of that without the bass for the B flat. Moving now to the D minor, exactly as we learned in parts 1 to 3. C minor now, exactly as we learned in parts 1 to 3. And the key thing being we don't put that extra note in. You remember the variation we learned in part 4 with the extra note? We don't put that in, we're doing exactly as is written on this template. So we just followed that template exactly for these 3 chords. I'll play that for you again. Okay, so we're just following that template exactly with these 3 chords as you learned in parts 1 to 3 with the little finger and the thumb on the first and third beat the first time around. Once that you've done all of that, that part sorted for verse 1 and 2 leading into the pre-chorus. Okay, so that's that sorted. This leaves this last little section here. This is also very simple for the F sus 4, which is for the first half of the bar. So if you remember, we went to F sus 4 was thumb, index finger, and little finger. And it went, it was basically, if you remember, and we had this bass note here with the little finger here. Now the only difference now is we're going to put the little finger and then the thumb in for this. So that one extra note here is the thumb, which we're putting in now. But the other thing to know is usually we do 1st and 5th of the chord. So in an F chord, that would be F and then C in the left hand. F and then C in the left hand, okay? But it's not F and C, it's going to be octaves. So it's going to be F and then F for this F chord, okay? So octave F and F for the little and then thumb for this F sus 4. So we're going to keep the F sus 4 in the right hand, but we're going to put F and F in here. So it's going to be, okay? So you got that F and then F on the 1 and the 3. Okay? So practicing that slowly, you've got, yeah. So it's top two fingers, thumb, and then you've got the octave higher F, top 2 fingers, thumb again, okay? So it's top 2 fingers, thumb, and then top 2 fingers, thumb, with the little finger on the first 2 and the thumb on the second 2. Okay, and then get around that again without any bass, so. Okay, so that's that bit. This is the only alteration, is the F at the end. Now, for the F at the end, what we're going to do is you've got this chord that we learnt in parts 1 to 3. The only difference is this: we're reversing these 2 sections. So instead of going middle finger thumb, top 2 fingers thumb, as you see here, it's going to be top 2 fingers thumb, then middle finger, thumb. So it's the reverse. That moves to there and then the middle finger to there. So if you watch my fingers, it's top two fingers, thumb, middle finger, thumb. And that's all you need to know for this, for the right hand. So it's top two fingers, thumb, middle finger, thumb. Now do that with me. So top two fingers, thumb, middle finger, thumb, okay? Top two fingers, thumb, and then middle finger, thumb. One more time, or too much, let's do a couple more times. So do it with me. Top two fingers, thumb, middle finger, thumb. Top two fingers, thumb, middle finger, thumb. One more time. Top two fingers, thumb, middle finger, thumb. Okay, so it's 3, 4, then. So this bit is da 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 da. Okay. Left hand then, very simply, goes. I'm trying to remember. Okay, so if the left hand is very simple. It's just this F here with the thumb at the beginning. You do this twice round, and you put the F at the beginning of both times. So it's simple as that, and that's that F sorted. So let's do that really slowly. You're putting the F in both times as you play it. So it's top two fingers, thumb, middle finger, thumb, and then again top two fingers, thumb, middle finger, thumb with that F in at the beginning of each time. So put the left hand in that now, and again now, and that takes you right the way through the verse. Both verses are the same. There's a tiny alteration the second time around. I'll show you that in a second. But let's just run through that all together. So to get all together, it's going to be a okay. That's that. It's pretty similar to the introduction. With it's easier than the introduction actually in this section. The only extra thing is the that extra thumb on that bit on the sus4, and then this obviously is a new thing you've got to learn. It's the same chord, but you're now doing sorry. Okay. So it's pretty much the same as the introduction with those tiny alterations. Last thing I'm going to say is leading into the pre-chorus. Instead of going, it actually goes. So the thumb is missing the second time round. Miss the thumb. So it's top two fingers, thumb, middle finger, thumb, and then top two fingers, miss the thumb, middle finger, thumb. So it's just that missing. So it's bum, 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 miss, bum, bum. Okay? Last time round. Whoops. Sorry. Like that. He may have just, whoever, or he or she who played it may have just missed the note on that particular occasion, or they may have played it very quietly. I can't hear it. I won't worry too much about it, but if you want to, just trying to give it to you as accurately as I can hear it on the original recording. So that takes you through both of the verses into the pre-chorus. So now, if you follow all of that exactly, it's just those tiny alterations. This shouldn't be too difficult with a little bit of work, as long as you just follow exactly what I said on part 5. Then you should have the whole of the introduction, verse 1 and verse 2, and that leads you into the pre-chorus, which we will now do on part 6. So if you now like to move to part 6, you can learn the pre-chorus.